diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Jet, we Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids. D-Phase. Yeah. Oversaturation. Yeah. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing on them. Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on late night on a Thursday? We back here and again, baby. Listen, I haven't done 3 shows in a day in a minute. I'm talking about in my early days when I was out here grinding. 3 shows one day. Listen, I feel like I'm getting back to my old ways. There's so much content. You know what I'm saying? Well, make sure you like the stream. My girl got mad at me at the last one with my boy Mario. Make it make sense. If you didn't tune into that video, make sure you go tune into that. That's the new series. Make it make sense. But you know, Key got mad at me because she was like, "Bro, you ain't say like the stream not once." So I need to do my part. Like the freaking stream. And remember, as always, if you like nothing I say, you can. If I make you feel some type of way, I'll tell you one thing though. Listen. I'll tell you one thing though. The way Bama's been hitting me up after that PV conversation we had earlier today, might be a part 2. Might have to do a part 2 to that PV because I've been getting some notes. I've been given some days. Okay, I have been given some days, and I have been given some hot tea, baby. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a members only stream for that. I'm gonna do a members only stream to let y'all know this hot tea that's been given to me, and I gotta give my members that. So we go listen. Starting July is gonna be member month. All right, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more live streams for members. I'm also gonna be doing member live streams only for gas cards and giveaways and things like that. So July 1st, please be on the lookout. We would be doing a member live only stream, and I'll be giving out $50 for gas cards. All right, so that's what we're doing out here. And we might do something at the end of the month, maybe like $100 giveaway or something like that. And then also I got Jackson State season tickets I'm giving away to my members as well. So if you ain't a member, I don't know what it is, but if you want to become a member, the link is I can have somebody drop the link for me. My girl will probably do it. If she's not, then you can go to the channel and go push the join button. All right, push the join button. Shout out to Kingston, shout out to Jordan, shout out to Paris as always. Shout out to Keontae. Said he hadn't been here in a while, but you know what I'm saying? We still in here, baby. All right, let's get into it. Why not us Southern Dancing Dolls? All right. Why not us Southern Dancing Dolls have been picked? Now, last time I heard they weren't supposed to be using that name, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I am so
I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty.
Last time I heard they was not supposed to be using that name, but hey, you know, to each his own. Somebody was suing somebody else who was suing somebody else, injunctions and all that type of stuff. All right, so that's word on the street. I don't know if you heard, but somebody ain't supposed to be using that name no more. But listen, I want to be very clear about this. All right, you guys, I want to say congratulations, first of all, to the Southern Dancing Dolls and the Southern University for getting picked by ESPN. But you know me. You know, there's a lot of people with conspiracy theories, but I don't believe in conspiracy theories a lot of times. But I'll tell you this, my mind just works differently. And what I saw when I first saw this, no lie, let me go to the article that I read. All right, so you guys can see it. From WAFB Channel 9 News says, Why Not Us Southern Dancing Dolls premieres Thursday, August 11th, exclusively on ESPN Plus from the executive producer, NBA All-Star Chris Paul. The new 8-episode ESPN Plus original will take fans behind the scenes of the Dancing Dolls. All right, once again, I want to say congratulations to them for being chosen. Listen, I can't say this enough. HBCUs be dropping the freaking bag. HBCUs be dropping the freaking bag. Why does ESPN have to come on your campus and do a behind the scenes to your dancing school? To your dancing group? Does anybody not make that make sense? Does anybody cannot see how you drop the bag on your own stuff? You're dropping the bag on your own, and ESPN is just like, thank you, picking it up and running with it. It don't make no sense. And then people want to get on here talking about, oh, Scotty, you're just hating because what am I hating? You're dropping your own bag. They're not giving you anything you ain't already had. They not giving you nothing that you already had the Dancing Dolls. They're not saying, hey, we're going to give you, we're going to pay for you to get a dancing group. No, they've been around forever. All they're literally doing is coming into your school, recording what the girls already do. already do. And then they gonna upload it. And then they gonna get paid from it. Does anybody not see that? They play. Man, listen, bro. If pimping was easy, everybody would do it. ESPN is pimping the bejesus out of everybody. Out of everybody. So let's get into this, right? Because with great exposure comes with lost potential. With great exposure comes with lost potential. You're losing out on your own bag. You're losing out on your own bag. It doesn't make any sense. Like, people gonna be like, oh, Scotty, you're always gonna find something wrong. How do you not see it wrong? If you jump in my chat talking about Scotty, you always finding something wrong. Something's wrong with you if you don't see that ESPN is like dog. Oh, I can't say some of this stuff because I gotta be PC. They're sandpapering you, no Vaseline. Straight ice cube, no Vaseline. It doesn't make any sense. And then what's even crazier is, from what everybody told me when I first stepped in this joint, is that, Scotty, the band and the girls are more important than the football team. So if they're your biggest marquee and they're your biggest attraction, how in the hell have you not done this before? And like everybody's saying in the chat, Southern probably got the best media team for their band. Shout out to the guy who Smash talks about him all the time. His name slips me right now, but I think it's Jordan or something like that, but his name slips me. But at the end of the day, they said he's like one of the best. He taught Smash everything he know. So I just don't get how we not. Okay, listen. There you go, Garrett. There you go. Appreciate you, David. Appreciate you, Garrett. Thank you. Right? So going forward, this is what, look, these are the top guys in the YouTube space when it comes to band, right? You got Smash Time, you got Showtime Web, and you got Human Jukebox. Y'all ain't think I knew all of them. Y'all ain't think I knew all of them. There's some other people, MF Cool, FAMU Jank and all that. Yeah, but y'all ain't think I knew some stuff, because y'all be like, Scotty don't know about band, but I know a little something. I know a little something. Look at these Bamas got, look, all these Bamas got over 100,000 subscribers. That means there's over 100, Killer Kev, thank you so much, Keontae. There's over 100,000 people that say, you know what? We like band stuff too. We like band stuff too. 100,000. Now, I want to break this down because it gets even deeper than this, right? This is Smash Time's, one of Smash Time's biggest videos. He got 3.4 million views just from the girls marching in the damn facility. 3.4 million views just because the girls were marching in. The Saints go marching in. 3.4 million views. Crazy. Human Jukebox. Halftime show. Over almost 1 million views. To watch the girls do a halftime show. So that tells you, listen, I can go to ESPN right now. Listen, you think I'm playing. You think I'm playing. I can go to ESPN right now. I can go to YouTube, ESPN highlights right now. And no Jackson State game probably has, no Jackson State highlight video has probably over 1 million views. I'm pretty sure they haven't reached that quota. So that lets you know football is not what you think it is. Football is not what you think it is. Okay? That just shows you what people want to see and what people are because think about it. This translates to women, it translates to men, it translates to college, young and old, right? So let's break this down. Look at how the SWAC, or you can replace the SWAC with a school, okay? I don't even want to beat up on Andrew Roberts and Dr. Charles McClellan. I don't want to beat up on these guys, but I just want you to get an idea, right? Now, mind you, this is on ESPN Plus. If you don't remember, it says it right here, exclusively on ESPN Plus, right? That means you have to pay for that crap. It is not free. And most football fans already got ESPN Plus, so you ain't adding nothing. But most band people do not, because they're probably not watching the games or whatever, especially not the girls or dancing girls or whatever. So mind you, let's say out of 20,000 people that have it, 10,000 are new fans just to watch it because they want to see the 8 episodes. ESPN Plus is $5.99. That is over $100,000 a month. Now, if the SWAC or said school decides to do an app, I said 10,000 at the lowest because of the simple fact of all the views it gets on YouTube. At $9, that is $99,000 a month. That is $99,000 a month for something you already have, you already own, and you know there's a market for it. How hard is it to follow the girls around campus or whatever and make it its own reality show? It's really not that hard. It's nothing you don't learn in journalism class. I talk to Smash all the time. He talks about setting up shots and all this is stuff he learned since his freshman or sophomore year doing journalism and photography. So at the end of the day, I'm confused. See, and this is the bad mind. This is a bad mindset. That this video is a bad mindset because there's somebody willing to pay for it. You might not get. That's the sad thing about this stupid mindset, right? Oh, black people don't pay for anything. No, black people pay for what they want to pay for. And it's not my job to convince you to pay for this. It's either you want to watch the series or you don't. ESPN ain't crying and complaining about black people wanting to watch the Dancing Dolls. They know they have a market. They know they have a fan base. Somebody's going to buy it. It's the same thing with the SWAC. If you got 1,000 people that paid $10, that's $10,000. Okay? It's very simple. So it's money that you're generating off something you was always going to have. You were always going to have the Dancing Dolls. You were always going to have them practice. You were always going to have them march in. You were always going to have them dance. It ain't nothing new. They always picking up new captains and all kind of crap. They always doing that. It ain't nothing new. But the fact that you're not capitalizing on your own labor makes no sense. None. You telling me 5,000 people wouldn't buy this? It doesn't. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. I don't. Let's break it down even further. Look, let's go even lower. Let's say 5,000 people get the app. That's $50,000 a month. Can these HBCU schools not use that? Could these HBCU schools not use $50,000 a month of something you are always going to have, something you was already going to do? Listen, man. Listen. I think these schools are doing themselves a very, 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 very disingenuous stuff because there are kids There are kids on your campus that can shoot the video. There are, I feel like a freaking broken record. There are kids on your campus that can make the content for you. It's not that hard. They're ingratiated in the stuff already. It's nothing. Why will it be nothing for you to have a behind the scenes of the world famed band at Grambling? How hard is that? You have your own channel on HBCU League Pass. You can literally have a camera follow the woman band director. Isn't she like the first woman band director? Why can't she have a behind the scenes look at what she's doing? You're missing out on free money, free content. Alcorn girls, the Stingettes from Alabama State, you can do this at every institution. They could do this. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. Why does it take a big company to tell you, hey, guess what? You got value on your campus. Why does it take ESPN, a white corporation, to come down to tell you, or why does it take Chris Paul to be like, hey guys, you got value on your campus? Why does it take that? And what type of check are y'all getting from ESPN? You know Chris Paul getting a check. He the executive producer. So what type of check is Southern getting? Man, listen. At the end of the day, I can't keep stressing this enough. I cannot keep stressing this enough. If you teach a man how to fish, he will never go hungry again. You're asking people to fish for you and to come back and give you the fish and act like you're not going to go hungry again. You have to find a way to learn how to do this stuff on your own. There's no reason why Southern media, the human jukebox media, could not have done the same thing Coach Prime did at JSU. You can't make me believe it. You cannot make me believe that the human jukebox could not have done a reality show with its own dancing dolls. You can't make me believe it. It doesn't make sense. Your stuff is too good. I don't understand it. It just feels like it's like everybody's stuck on stupid. That's what it feels like. It's like everybody's stuck on stupid, and I'm like, wow, can anybody not see that you got your own value right in your backyard? Can anybody else not see? It doesn't make sense. And you're not even asking. Listen, the thing about people is like, oh, they're like, well, we couldn't have got it as big as ESPN. It's getting the money that you can get. If you promote something right and you do it right, if you promote it on social media and all the little entities and all that type of stuff, you don't know how it can get picked up and go viral. Oh, first reality series done by a school. You don't know how. Listen, man. Dumber stuff goes viral every day. But if you don't try, it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I would love to know a reason why that the school itself could not have done its own reality show on its own stuff. Even if it's about the band. If it's not that simple, okay, then did somebody explain to me what's so hard about it? That's the question. If it's not that simple, then explain to me what's hard about it. Because if you sit in the comments talking about, oh, it's not that hard. It's not that simple. Then what's hard about it? That's the real question. Explain to me what's hard about it. Because then you start getting into administration. And then you start talking about, oh, well, people don't want to, but you got to understand all the hoops you got to jump through, all the block. So you're telling me ESPN is good. You're telling me that ESPN can just walk right in and do that. No ifs and buts about it. But people on campus can't do it for themselves. I just want to know. Listen, if it's not that hard, if it's not that simple, explain to me how it's that hard. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. The production aspect of the whole thing. So I want to get this straight. So you're telling me that you telling me that none of the behind, I want to get this straight because I'm not asking you. I kind of am. Okay, how about this? Is there some form or aspect that you could have done that would have made it behind the scenes aspect for you get what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a good example, right? If, let's say you don't do a reality show to where you follow them around 24/7 or whatever, but you could do behind the scenes of how they prepare, how they practice, going out to the field, you know what I'm saying? After, coming back off the field, like there's aspects to grabbing those behind the scenes features or stuff that you already have on campus because it's yours. And then at the same time, I don't understand don't you have a media department? Like, don't you have like journalism, a media program at Southern? So why can't you use students from your media to be a part of the project being put on for your school? Listen, man, I just need some clarification. If you call in or Garrett, if you call in and you tell me, if you call me and tell me, hey, Scotty, this is why we couldn't do it because blah, 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 then I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, that's tough. Don't make sense, but it's tough. But if you just sit in the comments talking about, oh, production, we couldn't do it, that sounds like a cop-out. That's just what it sounds like to me. I mean, how else you want to explain it? Because if you have a journalism in your school, you already got a media, you already got the human jukebox media for the band. How do you not have the production for everything else? That just doesn't make sense to me, but teach his own. Depends on how they want to monetize it, right? So you can monetize it one or two ways. You can monetize it to where it's like, okay, we put it on YouTube and you do it like with advertising, like no different than how Smash and all them, how most YouTubers make their money off YouTube money, right? You can do it that way. Or you can do it off a sense of we put it behind a paywall and you got to pay to watch it, right? There's multiple ways to do it. Or you could go to, if you would have already had the footage, and this is just me, listen, this is just me throwing it out, right? If you already got the footage, then you tell ESPN, yo, we'll sell you the footage, or however we'll blend it up, or we'll do something, partner up or whatever to make it happen. Because if they just come in and they do all the work, why should I have to pay you? I'm only paying you for access. That's really all I'm paying you for, is for the access. And then I make all the money on the back end with advertisers. So if I have, but this is why you need somebody who knows media, right? And media advertising. Because if you have content, this is the thing. If you have content and you have people who want to watch, then there's going to be an advertising company that wants to advertise. That's how you make money off YouTube. You have content, you got people that want to watch, they pay for advertising, you get the money, right? So you figure out a way, you got the content, right? And then now you do your thing to selling it. You got to find a way to sell it. You got to find a way to get advertisers to put ads on it. So now you have that. I thought their practice was a private. It can't be too private if ESPN doing it. But usually when you have stuff like this, they only show bits and pieces of it, right? So they'll like show, they might show one or two moves. Maybe the girls laying down watching the coach them up or whatever. And then it might have cutaways. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they do it. So they don't show you what we're actually practicing, right? But usually it's just getting the girls insight on why they became dancing dolls, or no different than the FAMU, Why Not Us. Everybody has a storyline, right? So we start going into the storylines. Okay, we start talking about this. Oh, this girl she found out about the dance. How did you find out about the dancing dolls? Oh, I wanted to be a dancing doll since I was 8. My mama was a dancing doll. My mama's mama was a dancing doll. My mama's mama. Like, that's how it works. That's literally how it works. You find a storyline, you run with the storyline, you follow that girl, you get involved. Come on, we all watch reality shows. Stop playing. Stop playing. All I'm saying is this, right? And like I said, Garrett knows better than I do because he's in it every day. All I'm saying is this. It just doesn't make sense that you allow ESPN to come on your stuff to promote your stuff when you couldn't promote it, when you couldn't do it for yourself. That just doesn't make sense to me. I would hope for somebody to explain it to me. But hey, to each his own. But hey, man, that's my time. If anybody want to call in, 516-259-9041, 516-259-9041. Are you paying the ladies scholarships or exploiting them? EA, you got to be the dumbest mother. EA, let me help you out, bro. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker. Listen, why are you asking me to pay them, right, when people are already videotaping them making money? So that means every girl in these videos need to get paid for having their stuff on YouTube getting monetized by somebody else, EA. Shut your dumb ass up. Hey, what's up, Perry? Talk to me.
What's going on?
What's goody?
You know, I'm on the Human Jukebox Media with my boy Garrett, and I'm hearing what you're saying. And, you know, we were there as this was getting filmed. Now, I think a lot of the things that you're saying are right and are correct. We film a lot of this on our own. We do have a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. Drum major talk, how they make the arrangements. But, you know, you only can go so far when you got your YouTube channel. The content is there. You know, and if you go to the Human Jukebox Media YouTube channel, you'll see all the content. And I think a lot of people pay attention to the content, especially when you look at the views, when you look at the social media aspect. But there's still a difference if you would have saw how ESPN came in. They had so much equipment and so many people. You got to think about just the funding of the equipment that they're using. Mm-hmm. You got to think about the production team that they having. You're talking about Garrett he's the producer and the director by himself, while ESPN has too many numbers of producers and directors and filmers and camera people. You know, it's a little bit more different when you talk about all hands on deck. You're talking about putting out information out there to get people to join Human Jukebox, you know, to get students. Come to find out, you will find out there are not a lot of kids that's interested, especially what we found out in terms of willing to put in the work, especially because guess what? You're doing it for free. There's no budget behind it in terms of production costs. So, you know, I understand what you're saying, but it is more to it than just saying, hey, y'all can do this and do. I think what we do on our end is probably the best that we're able to do. And I think when you look at the production, it's one of the best productions out there when you talk about band media, if you want to put it that way.
No, absolutely.
And we don't just do band media. You know, we do it in athletics as well. We try to do our part on so many different avenues, from athletics to band to the school itself. That's why I think if you look at Southern as a whole in terms of production that's out there, it's kind of hard to match it when you look at production from other schools. On top of these other schools have mass comm and mass comm departments as well as production studios right there on campus. If you come to Southern's mass comm department, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to upgrade that and get that to the level of what we in today in terms of technology.
Let me ask you this. So in the regards, like I can't compare you guys to ESPN. That's not even, you know, that's a multi-billion-dollar company, Disney or whatever. What I'm saying is this: is there not an avenue? Because if you're doing it for free, there has to be some payoff for the kid You know what I'm saying? Like you get, like, is it, resume builder, is this, is that? Because however you use it, I can use it towards my stuff. And now I can throw it to something else and I can, I can grow my brand. I can tell somebody, hey, we put this together and everything like that. And I remember when you sent me the video on YouTube with the Odell jank, the Odom jank, you was like, yo, we put this together. I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like a Friday Night Lights edition for Southern. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So my thing is this, if you can make one storyline or one story and build it as such, so it could be following, the drum line for Southern. What does that look like? And just following the drum line. It don't got to be the whole band, just following the drum line or one storyline that fits off the drum line. You know what I'm saying? Interviewing certain band people and like, oh, we really like your story. Let's stick on this story. You know what I'm saying? Or how to become a dancing doll, or like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, right? They got a whole thing about how to become a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. You could do a whole thing about just wanting to become a dancing doll. To me, I feel like if you microcosm it, if you make it smaller, then it can be more manageable and more easy to bite off. But it always goes back to promotion and social media of what you have, right? So asking like, okay, how can we promote this to gain interest on it? Because we already know that women and band are probably the two biggest things in HBCU culture. How can we promote this and say, you know what, we want to see that. We want to see what's going on. To me, if I'm being honest, the best time would have been when the lady from the D4L with you guys in the whole injunction. If that wasn't the best time to do something about Southern, because it's free publicity. You're literally using her platform to jumpstart anything else that you got because of the battle that y'all was going on between the trademark stuff. So that would have been a great free publicity right there. But it's a personal thing that I'm like, why is ESPN allowed to come in, monetize off the content that you guys already have and then dip out?
You look at it, and I keep it real with you. A lot of times for our people to support something, they need it from a bigger name.
That's fair. That's true.
We can put this content out all day, and you and I can promote HBCUs all day long. But the moment Beyonce say something, the moment Jay-Z say something, it's like all of a sudden here's this new movement towards supporting HBCUs, but do people support the ones who constantly do this on a daily basis instead of when they find out it's more profitable or it's just a good time for them to say something? The content is there. The social media presence is probably as best that it could ever be. The YouTube channel is running as probably as best as it ever is. But until you get somebody of that status, and our people, and this is just the honest truth, until somebody of a name that we see is famous, recognize it, the same way with ESPN. ESPN is doing nothing no different than what we do on a daily basis and a weekly basis. It's just the fact people saw ESPN do it and, oh my God, it's ESPN. Mm-hmm. But if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll find some of the same production on there. But people don't care because it's not the name that's behind it.
That's fair.
And that's the honest truth.
So then
the work is getting done.
Yeah. So then my second part is the part where now using that 15 minutes of fame, right? Because you have the people that say, okay, the Dancing Dolls have always been the best or whatever, been known. But now that you have the ESPN push behind it, how do you capitalize off that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's only 8 episodes. I'm not saying they're going to do a season 2. I'm not saying they're going to do a season 3. They could possibly do seasons 2, 3, or whatever. But how do you capitalize off of the 15 minutes of fame that ESPN gives you with the 8 episodes and keep it going? You know what I'm saying? Now that's to me
doing what we already doing. Just hopefully people now pay attention to what's already in place. You don't have to do anything any different. All it is doing is just shedding the light on it. Mm-hmm. It's just opening the door for you because ESPN has the platform and the name recognition behind it that people typically want to look for because they think that's validation. Because you do it every day, it ain't validation. But if Stephen A. Smith do it, all of a sudden it's validation. You just said when you did your show, you've been talking about this week after week after week with the whole Grambling thing. But then it took Stephen A. There was like, oh, now y'all finally want to listen, right?
That's fair.
It's about validation.
That's fair.
That's what this is. The product is there. I mean, if you pull up Human Jukebox Media right now while you're on the screen and just go down the list, you will find everything you're looking for. Pull up the Human Jukebox Media pull up Human Jukebox, the Southern University Marching Band social media page. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter while you right there. You will see the present. You will see videos with millions of views. You will see shout outs from different artists from around the world, different media agencies from around the world. It's there. It's just people tend to hype up something more than what it is when it's ESPN, when it's Beyonce. But it's not saying the work hasn't already been there. It hadn't already been done. Everything that you're looking for is there. It's just, do people want to support it?
That's real.
Do you only want to support it when ESPN say, hey, look what we did, or do you want to support it when we doing it in-house? There's nothing different.
I love these thumbnails.
And that's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but all the work is there. There are behind the scenes stuff. There are episodes that show you how the arrangements are written. There are episodes where you get to see the drum major talk and interview other students. There are episodes where you get to see the band director discuss what's coming up. There are behind the scenes episodes when the band went to the Rose Bowl, highlight videos of the game, parade, whatever you want is there. But guess what? People don't hype it up because it's not ESPN.
Wow.
And the production and the quality is right there. I'm not going to say it's on par with ESPN, but it's not subpar at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's there. You look at Lizzo. They did a music video with Lizzo. There are avenues. There are things that are out there. It's just, when do people decide to want to support it? If
That's
ESPN
sad.
posted and say, hey, look what we did for the band, everybody all of a sudden, let's share this. But the band puts out something all the time anyway.
That's
just
fair.
as good as quality, if you ask me.
That's fair.
It's just on people. People are fickle when they want to support. And like I said, it's about validation. I say the same thing in terms of your show. You have been talking about this stuff over and over and over. Why did it take Stephen A. all of a sudden to put it on his? Because it's Stephen A. Smith and it's ESPN. But you've been doing the work the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Wait, with us, we do the work the whole time. If you follow the Human Jukebox Media, if you follow Southern University Band, if you go to the Facebook page and look at the lives, you look at the shares, look at the views, look at the comments. There are thousands of views, hundreds of shares, plenty of comments. It does its part, but there's only so much you can do in terms of your own production and your own outreach. You hope eventually somebody with that name shares something. If the band plays a good song, and play a Janet Jackson song, Janet Jackson may come in and share it and say, hey, I love this song by the Southern University Marching Band. That's the way that we're making headway. We can't compete with ESPN because if you would have saw what they showed up with in terms of equipment and manpower and the time and the hours and the money that they have behind them, what you would call a low budget production, making it do what they say at HBCUs, trying to do a lot with a little. That's what we're doing. You involve students and former band members, as well as students of the university, are a part of the media team. There's only so much you can get out of somebody for free.
That's real. I'm looking at this. I love. I mean, the imagery on these junks are so dope. The YouTube channel, the thumbnails are fire. That's just, it's just tough because of
one thing about it today. Everybody's starting to focus on just the dancers. And I think the aspect of the band part gets lost because everybody now, we live in this age of the dancers now. It didn't used to be the dancer. It used to be the band, and then it was the accessory. The dancers were the accessory to the band. So the band used to be the main focal point. Now today, when you look around Alabama State, Jackson State, Southern, Alcorn, what people are for looking at an Alcorn? They're not watching the band. They want to watch the girls buck and go up the ramp. What people looking at Jackson State? They want to see the girls shake. But how much are you just going to overload people with that? To the fact that you missed the whole point of what it's all about. It's a whole band with the dogs, with the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think today is getting oversaturated because of the dancers. We live in this world now because of social media. People love the dancers, and guess what? It gives them something to critique. Oh, look at that 8 count. Oh, she messed up. Oh, I could do it better than her. Oh, no, it gives people something to talk about. But there's only so much of that I can give you over and over and over, because before it gets old, you can't give people too much of something, because then it becomes old and then they're no longer paying attention to it. Does that make sense?
No, it does. I mean, that's with anything. Too much of anything is going to get you. I mean, that's how I felt about Kevin Hart. I feel like over a while, it's just like, bro, it's just too much Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying?
How many different ways can I show you the dolls and any dance do an 8 count? How many different ways, you know? I can show you behind the scenes, but how many different ways can I show you behind the scenes? Because it's only so many dancers, there's only so much that they could do. You know, but you got a band with hundreds of members that have their own stories. You got band directors with their own stories. You know, and we highlight this stuff. And we do. So that's for Southern. Now, I can't speak on everybody else. But what I can say, what Garrett did with Human Jukebox Media, he kind of paved the way in terms of bands wanting their own media.
Mm-hmm.
You used to have the freelance media guys. You know, the Dr. Price, the Killer Kells, HBCU Marching Sports with my guy Gerard, Smash Time. You had, and Garrett started out the same way. You just had guys at the game with cameras recording. But then bands started to realize, hey, why not have our own production? Then you start to see Alcorn, Texas Southern, Jackson State, FAMU. You start to see all of these other bands begin to get media and doing what they can. All of these programs have it. You just have to tune into it to see it. Unfortunately, they just don't have the platform that is big as ESPN to put it on there so everybody can be so hyped up about it. But if people follow these programs, you'll see these people are making headway in terms of trying to do production. Now, do they have budgets? I don't know. This is not no slight work. This is a lot of work when you talk about filming. Talk about just the production cost in terms of buying the equipment. You want good cameras. You want good lenses. You need good people to help. The work and the time that goes into it. Then not only once you record it, sitting down, editing through all this stuff. You know, we don't have the manpower at ESPN, but I think we make do with what we have. And if more people tuned into it and just supported because of celebrity or because it's ESPN and just supported it for the organic work that's being done, I think we can get support. I think people typically, when it comes to HBCUs, we pick and choose when we want to support.
No, that's with anything. Yeah.
To me, HBCU fans, on a bigger scale, are we truly football fans or are we truly event fans? Do we truly show up for the football game or do we truly show up for just the event as a whole? The band, because how many times will we go to the game if the band not there?
How many times have I heard that?
Like if the other team ain't bringing the band, like, yeah, I probably ain't gonna go. That's normally the conversations that you get.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's out there. That's all I'm saying. It's out there. It just doesn't have the ESPN flair behind it, but the work is there. People just have to tune in if they want to see it.
How do you, because it has to be a point where it's like, okay, we're doing our part because we got 100,000 subscribers, we're growing, people are supporting, you know, and maybe just alumni based or whatever. Because I think to a certain degree, this is what happens when you get it with ESPN, right? When you get it with ESPN, the other schools watch it just to see what's wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you get what I'm saying? Like, so if you were doing it by yourself and on YouTube, they'd be like, I'm not watching that because that's not my school. But then when it gets put on ESPN on national platform, they're like, oh, I'm gonna watch it just to see why they on a national platform. So it could be supporting. I'm not gonna say they're not. There's some people could be supporting it to go watch it. Some people are just watching it to critique it. My thing is, how do you build it how do we take it from being in grandma's kitchen to now exposing it without, because not everything is it gonna, do you need a cosign? You probably do. You probably need a cosign. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? That's like most jobs, you know what I'm saying? You need somebody to walk you through the door, you know what I'm saying? But at some point in time, there has to be something that either catches or doesn't, to where it's like, oh man, this is different, or oh, this is dope. And I just want more HBCU schools to think outside the box. And once again, like Smash talks about Garrett all the time, says Garrett's one of the best in the business. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, how do you change the game in aspects of how do you grow this thing and how do you make it bigger? And because there's a thing about YouTube that you're never going to make as much money as you think you could if you did it on your own. You know what I'm saying? So how do you separate that and put it on a different platform, put it where it can be monetized a little bit better or done in a certain aspect? And that's the aspect I think where, you know, you need a consultant to be like, hey, we have all this content. We want to know where we can put it or what we can do to make money, because, you know, if you're getting 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 views, there's somebody out there willing to pay for the advertising. Somebody.
I think this is still all in its infancy stage in terms of understanding and figuring it out. Because how long have bands been having their own media teams? You know, how long in terms of the world of bands? Band is really growing in the sense that I told you, it's these dances. Everybody want to see these dances. People don't even focus on the bands no more.
Mm-hmm.
People focus on the dancers. So, you know, if you just not putting out dancing, you can go watch a ton of band videos right now and watch what they looking at. If they marching in, they looking at a dance. If they marching out, they looking at the dances. If they in the stands, everybody want to see who doing the 8 count, who leading the way, who's the tail. This is what the focal point of it is. And so it becomes fickle because it's still in the infancy stage in terms of how do we do this? ESPN don't have to figure out how do we do this because they have the platform that's already been created. Yeah, can you do it private and charge people? But then once you do that, how many people are going to be true supporters?
I'll say
how many people are you going to really get that's on a basis that's going to truly support that?
Well, I'll say this, right?
Or do people just like watching something for free?
I'll say this because, okay, and let's keep it there. Let's keep it there, Perry. Let's keep it watching it for free. And this is the part where I have a problem with what Dr. Charles McClellan is doing with the SWAC when it comes to HBCU League Pass, right? If HBCU League Pass is a media company entity that's saying, hey, give us, like, partner with us. We'll use your content to promote it to advertisers to get you more money for what you already making. Why stop that? That's the problem to me, is that when you have an entity, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. This is still early. We're still figuring this out. Just like when you started your channel, you had to figure it out. You had to figure out your avenue, what works, what doesn't work, and you still figuring that out because this is something new. It's something you having to find out, okay, what do the people want to hear? What do the people want to see? All right, if they want to hear it and see it, when you first started out, where you wasn't charging people to be subscribers or to be the members of your channel. But as you went along, you start to figure that out. Then you start to figure out the concept of I've been watching you since you first started. I remember when you was doing top 5 quarterbacks for the week. You know, top 5, you know, I remember that. You know, you have grown tremendously from that because guess what? You having to figure out your lane and what works and what doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure at this point, as you've gone through it, you figure out what works and what does not work. And you evolving in terms of what you adding to your show. With this, we're just trying to evolve and figure it out. If it was that easy, we'll all have it figured out on a lot of different avenues. But I think with this one, you don't want to make a drastic move, and then we already know how fickle people are, and then guess what? You turn them off to it. So, you know, it's just that idea. We have these talks all the time. Trust me, the brainstorming is there. But when you make your move, you're not just trying to do something and say you're doing it. You want to make sure that you make your next move, your best move, and that it's something that people will get behind.
Absolutely. I feel you, P. I feel you, P.
Yeah. It ain't all just, you know, like, oh, okay, we just missing out on opportunities. Hey, the opportunity is there. You can't force people to I can't force ESPN to come in and say, look at all the videos we already did. When you watch Southern halftime performances, their shows from Human Jukebox Media, it's like you watching a network performance. It's like you watching a network that did it. There are multiple people with cameras that's going out getting these shots. We can't force ESPN and Fox or whoever who's the HBCU League Pass. We can't force none of those folks to come in and speak to us. Now, we can go speak to them, but then what's at the table? Is it worth sitting at the table to hear what they willing to give for what we do? You know, and that's why I say it's still in this infancy stage in terms of how do you go in a direction to where it works for all parties, to where you can have that platform like an ESPN. So when you put something out, the band puts something out all the time on its social media pages, and sometimes it goes viral. Sometimes you get 1 million hits. Sometimes you get a couple 100,000 hits. Sometimes you get 100 hits. Mm-hmm. You just never know how it's going to go. I tell you, the biggest ones are the dancing dolls, but it's like, I can't just overdo you with the dancing dolls.
I think you could though, right? And this is what I'm saying, right? And this is why, because there's always going to be people. Okay, let me give you this, right? Reality TV shows, Real House of Atlanta or whatever. That it's a ongoing show because people are in tune with that, like Criminal Minds. Like I've been watching Criminal Minds.
And what channels are they coming on?
But wait, but you're missing my point though. This is what I'm saying. If you put good example, right? HBCU League Pass has channels, right? They have channels. They have a Grambling channel. They got a Stillman channel. They have a They have a Norfolk State channel. If you had a Southern channel or a Dancing Dog channel where it was nothing but Dancing Dog content, there's somebody that will go watch just that because that's what they're into and that's what their interest is. You know what I'm saying? So I believe and this is the part, once again, this is the part where I have the problem with what Dr. Charles McClellan and some other SWAC people are trying to push against HBCU League Pass is that you have the content. Right, you have the content already made. Like we're looking at it right now off the Human Jukebox. Look, this is ridiculous. This content for days. If you took this and put it on a channel which continuously shown, and then media advertisers could pay you for it and not have YouTube take 45% of whatever you're making, the school would make a lot more money because now you're in a position where a media company is negotiating advertising dollars for you instead of you taking the scraps of whatever YouTube decides to get you. That is the issue that I'm having. So what I'm saying is that the fact that, the Southern Band or the Human Jukebox Media is not looking at a media company to say, hey, we have all this content that we know people want to watch. Is there a way we can partner with you to get media dollars? You still have your YouTube channel, which is your content, and now you've multiplied your money because now you've put it on another platform. That's how you build a bigger brand and you build big and you monetize more of what you have.
I don't disagree. Like I say, we just still try to figure this out, man. There's so many different ways to go, but then you realize you're dealing with a bigger entity. You're talking about now you're directly working with the band. So the entity as a whole, what's the best interest for the entity as a whole? For the band itself, who has band directors, who has students. That's why I say this still in this stage of figuring that out. We sit down and we talk about this all the time in terms of a direction. What works? What doesn't work? How can we monetize? How can we get better? How can we get it out there? It starts with your own supporters. It starts with people hitting the share button. When you come on here, don't you say, hey, y'all hit the like button. Y'all subscribe. Only so many times you can say that. People will still sit on here and still won't hit the like button.
Yeah, that's
won't
facts.
Subscribe.
That's
still
facts.
Won't share. So it's only, we can promote, and we can do all of that, and then we can sit down with these people. But what I'm saying is that's what we're trying to do as we figure it out. And eventually there will be a legit plan. The ESPN came in already with a mindset of what they want to do. We coming in there directly for this. You think they want to do anything more than that? No, they got a plan of what they wanted to do. This is exactly what we highlight. We're going to do this and we out. So they already came in with where they producers have sat down and said, all right, what would be a storyline here? It would be the Dancing Dolls. All right, cool. Well, we don't just focus on the Dancing Dolls, and we just cannot focus on the Dancing Dolls. Can we highlight them? Yes, but there's still a whole band and there's still an entity as a whole that was curated, that there's a reason why there's interest behind it. Now, how you go about getting that interest and then getting a network behind it, that's the question I think that's the $1 million question. Once we all figure it out, I think Southern, Jackson, FAMU, and everybody else with a media team will be able to sit at the table and say, hey, I think we got it together. But it takes work from all different parties. It takes some real thinkers to sit down at the table and say, this could work. On top of it, you got to remember, you got legal counsel at the university as well. You just can't jump out here and make these decisions on your own. You got other people there's a structure, and you got other people that are in place that you could have the idea and want to move on it, but then you could have somebody at the school say no.
My thing is this, and it goes back to what you just said, is having the conversations to sit down. And if I'm being honest, I don't know how many SWAC schools are really having honest conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, honest, like, listen, like, really, because a lot of times they're like, oh, we don't want to do it because we're scared, or we don't want to do it because it's different, or we don't know what that is. But if you're not even having the conversation, you could never open yourself up to anything new. So if that's the thing to me, like,
you're right.
If the schools would just sit down with these black owned media companies, right? Because once again, the content, we could talk about sport, we could talk about football all day. Football does not bring in the big bucks as people think it does. Like, It's the band and it's the dance and it's the girls. It's the culture. It's the environment of what you have. So it's the day-to-day, it's the day-to-day life. So if you can get with a black-owned media company or whatever media company you feel the need, I'm always going to support HBCU League Pass because I know what they do. I know what they've done for me. So it's like, why not?
Well, do this for me. Name me 5 black-owned media companies.
Listen, HBCU Go, HBCU League Pass, and that's all I got for you. I got two for you.
HBCU Go and HBCU League Pass, do you feel like they have a stronger backing and a stronger support than Human Jukebox Media within itself that has 100,000 subscribers that get millions of views on their social media page? What would they bring to the table that is not already on the table that's being created by the media team itself?
I think they'll give you. Hold on. I think they will give you more of your worth. I'll give you more. I think they'll give you more of your value, right? So what I'm saying is in the military, we always say work smarter, not harder. I think you're working really hard to get pennies on the dollar, right? So if you you're going through a third party to get advertising dollars, right? So YouTube takes 45% of whatever you make and you get 55%. Well, you don't know what they're selling your stuff for. All right. We don't know what you're selling your stuff for. So if you get with the HBCU League Pass where they partner with you, that's one, they partner with you. And then at the end of the day, they go out and find advertisers to promote on your channel and you guys split it, 50-50. So it could be something simple as, or a 60-40, however the percentage works with partners or whatever. But if they get you, let's say they get you $1 million deal to partner, then now you're looking at something completely different than if you don't know what YouTube is selling your stuff for. You get what I'm saying? That's something they don't tell you. Go ahead.
And I don't think nobody's against that. If they willing to have conversations can be had, meetings can be had. I don't think nobody is against it, but I agree with you. And this is what I've been saying for the longest. Our schools have to understand the importance of branding and marketing and what digital media is. I think that's the biggest part of this. The schools not understanding what this really means in terms of their own
Perry,
marketing and production.
Perry, yeah. I'm gonna have to let you go real quick. Hold on. Hey, Mr. Todd. Hey, hold on real quick. I'm trying to get you on my let me see if I can. Hello? Hey, Mr. Todd.
Yes, sir.
All right, you are on the channel live right now. Can you explain what HBCU League Pass does for content providers on your platform?
Okay. So the notion of content publishers, which is what they're really called, is to position them where they can monetize additional content on our platform. So your platform, so you may have a piece of content that's on YouTube, you may have a piece of content that's on Instagram, you may have a piece of content on your existing website. And the idea of putting it in an environment where it can be monetized again is generally called syndication. And what we do as an advertising supported video on demand platform is provide an environment for that conversation to be had surrounded by advertising. And so if you're a producer like yourself, which has a direct, consistent show or program, then we can position that to advertisers so they can buy that content on our platform. And there may be a direct deal with a content provider where they're being paid fees, for their digital rights, or it may be a situation where they're in a rev share where they go together with me to the market to talk to an advertiser who wants to sponsor or support that show. So its content exists on our site for the purpose of generating connections with advertisers. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, some people want to surround experiences. So if your demographic is female, 12 to 24, 24 to 35, then they may want to sponsor those shows directly, brought to you by. And so generally, content's purpose is to be monetized by a platform, either in an environment or directly around people who want to see that show happen so they can reach a new demographic.
So let me ask you this. So if somebody like myself, or let's say the example I'm using today, Mr. Brown, is the Human Jukebox Media. They are the media of the Human Jukebox, the band. If they were to partner with someone like yourself, you know, and they probably average about, I see about 8,000, 9,000 views, per video, sometimes like that, 5,000. And then they take that to your platform. They get to keep what they're doing on YouTube and then also make money off advertisers on your platform. Is that correct?
Yes. So you just described what I call syndication. So that content exists on another platform, and now you have another chance to monetize it. A perfect example is our business relationship with Roland Martin. Roland Martin has content where he's done an interview, and it exists on YouTube. It also may exist on Instagram and Facebook. But when he puts it on my platform, that's another bite at the apple to be monetized. And if he has a consistent show, for instance, you mentioned a marching band. A marching band is a certain demographic, and they're gonna have members that are male and female. They're gonna appeal to HBCU folks, and because of that, they can now live on an environment to be monetized again. And what I mean is, if there's a consistent program, I can package and sell 10 clips. I can package and sell long form or short form content, or I can say you can consistently see this band at this time on my platform. And that is something that advertisers lean into and will pay for specifically in certain environments. And the key to this, Scotty, is Black-owned media has a set-aside for amount of advertising that they're going to get because of the historical discrimination that's taken place. And that advertising opportunity on my platform is unique because of Black-owned media. It's different than being monetized on white platforms, which you're just fighting for number of views and clicks. So there's a second window of opportunity for monetization on Black-owned platforms because of the unique moment we find ourselves in.
So let me get this straight. So if there's a content, because I'm trying to ask to kind of hit everybody's questions that I've seen in the chat. What let me ask you this, because what's the benefit, for somebody like a Southern University or because you have Norfolk State on the platform, you have Stillman, you have Grambling. What are the benefits for these schools that are a part of the HBCU League Pass network?
It's a direct revenue share. So today, their content may exist, and you may not have enough views to get to a number for monetization on other platforms, or you may just be existing as a content advertiser, meaning that you're advertising a university, and it's for content for what we call brochureware, so people can know who you are and what you're doing. Now, when you move into this other stage where you're partnering with a platform like mine, you're now part of a media conversation around the demographic, the geography, and the ability to engage your audience. And we go directly to the marketplace and say, now let's surround that with Procter & Gamble. And if we do a Procter & Gamble advertising around your content, then you're now a revenue share in that. Or if we take the students, maybe the athletes, maybe the band, and include them on our platform, we can do specific advertising the same way Fashion Nova does to the audience they have on social platforms and cut a revenue deal with them for a share of that advertising. So we make, just like ABC and ESPN, we make those folks a channel partner, and they now have an opportunity to actually get direct advertising from the folks we negotiate with at the highest level. So when a university comes on our platform, they start to receive direct revenue as part of the advertising that's allocated to us to drive value. And ultimately, they want to build programs in that geography because they want to reach everybody on those campuses and everyone who's interested in that topic.
Absolutely. So, and my last question, Mr. Brown, I appreciate you for jumping on so late. What does a school have to do to get in contact with you if they're let's say it's the Human Jukebox Media. Let's say it's a third party who records band stuff, but he loves it. You know what I'm saying? He has a big platform or a big following. What do they have to do to get in contact with you?
They should get in contact with us directly. We have all our information on our website, www.urbanedgenetwork.net. They can reach out directly to my business partner and co-founder, Hardy Peld, at Hardy, Hard, at urbanedgenetwork.net. and that's the best way to contact us. And then when they reach out to us, we will absolutely listen to their proposition and move forward and building a relationship. I'm sorry for the noise. I'm at the Essence Festival where we're gathering content and connecting with key advertisers. So it's urbanedgenetwork.net and or Hardy at urbanedgenetwork.net. That's the best way to contact us. And we are actively engaging in content publishers and universities who are interested in monetizing student activities.
Hey, appreciate you as always, Mr. Brown. Thank you so much.
All right, God bless you.
All right, peace. Listen, guys, it's not if you really want to change it. All right, and there's no and I listen. I love when Perry calls in because at the end of the day, Perry is gonna give you. You know what I'm saying? You have to go out. There's opportunities. Just sit down and have the conversation. All right, sit down and have the conversation, right? The spring game was on HBCU League Pass. You know what I'm saying? Gramblin's games are going to be on HBCU League Pass. You know what I'm saying? My channel's on HBCU League Pass. Like, there's so much you can do. Hip Hop Hollywood, all right, is on HBCU League Pass. You know what I'm saying? Stillman, Norfolk State, all their platforms are going and are starting up. FAMU was once on it until they lost the AD and all that stuff happened, right? Don't let people's notions or narrative get you out the real idea of what it is that you're trying to build another stream of revenue outside of YouTube. Nobody is trying to steal your stuff. Nobody is trying to HBCU go you, right? Where they buy everything that you are and then they say, hey, take this money for the rest. That's it. That's what the HBCU Go deal is. Hey, I'm gonna give you $90 million for all your content. Okay, if you're paying me 90, how much are you making? Right. So there's an aspect of it. Listen, that was the CEO of Urban Edge Network, HBCU League Pass, right? Telling you how to get in contact. Human Jukebox Media, reach out. Reach out. All right. It's nothing wrong with a conversation. Nothing wrong with a conversation. That's what it's all about. All right. But listen, I appreciate Perry for calling in. I appreciate Mr. Brown for calling in. At the end of the day, I just want to see HBCUs and I want to see the platforms grow. I want to see schools get the money that they deserve at the end of the day, but you got to do your part. You can't be scared to sit down and have a freaking conversation. All right. You can't let a commissioner who works for the schools tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your content. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? A commissioner that works for the schools is telling you what you can and can't do with your content. All right. Don't hit me with the, well, you know, he always telling what we do. I just gave you a solution. He gave you his email addresses. Email, reach out. You never know. You could come up with an agreement and you could be making big bucks. All right. I can tell you right now, Grambling ain't complaining. I'll say it like that. Grambling is not complaining about HBCU League Pass. That's all I'm going to say. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.